Hello, all you distinctive agents out there. I've got a very special guest today. She is definitely a distinctive agent. I've had the pleasure of working with her and knowing her for more than 10 years. Uh, she's an amazing woman. She's a community leader. She's one of the top real estate agents in an incredibly competitive market of Sun Valley, Idaho. Please welcome Stephanie Reed. How are you, Steph?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I
Good.
know I've got a boatload of questions for you. But before we get started with those, why don't you just tell everybody who you are, where you are, and how you came to be a broker in Sun Valley, Idaho.
So I'm Stephanie Reed, and I basically grew up here in Sun Valley, and so my journey has been quite interesting in terms of I always knew that I wanted a little bit more of a more activity in my life and live in a bigger city. So when I was in my very early 20s, I went to Seattle, Washington, and I got my real estate license there, and quickly realized that putting 50 to 60 hours in a week was not my cup of tea at that time, nor I just wasn't serious enough to have a true practice. So just played for a while, and I ended up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that's where I got my license again and started practicing there in Charlotte and the surrounding area. And I was there for about 6 years, and then I moved back here to Sun Valley when the boom was just happening, and got on the wave and just took off. And then as you know, Todd, I think it was like 2008, I ended up realizing that the market had fallen out, and I needed to have a company that was that had an international, exposure, and that was always doing having technology and cutting edge marketing. And so I joined Coldwell Banker that time, and so I've been with you guys. So what is that? Do my math. That's
9 years, almost 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Seattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you grew up in Sun Valley. That had to have been really rough.
Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible. I mean, I hated skiing. I hated hiking, biking, terrible.
Yeah. Right. So you move from Sun Valley, you go to Seattle, you practice real estate in Seattle, then you go to North Carolina, you practice real estate in North Carolina, and then you come back to Idaho. So three totally different markets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, tell me, like, what are some similarities, maybe some differences, both in the markets, but also in the way people practice?
Well, I don't really know if I can find tons of similarities to it. I think, if anything, I was so blown away when I moved back here because in North Carolina and Seattle, I mean, it was branding, it was promoting yourself, it was farming, you were always go, 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 because you had a tremendous amount of competition. And then when I moved back here and the market was so crazy, I mean, people weren't branding, they weren't farming, they were barely even advertising because everything was selling so fast. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I would have died out here in North Carolina or Seattle if that's the way I did it. But it also showed me an opportunity that could be taken to be able to increase my business if I did use the tools that I had.
So you brought a little bit of the city to a resort market.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Difference in work ethic, difference in marketing. I mean, tell me a little more.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, it's really kind of interesting because as if you were showing buyers property, I mean, it was literally an all day thing. I mean, you prepared your full day, you were having lunch with them, you were, with them all day long. And here it's like being in a small town. I mean, you just like to show 5 houses, you're only working maybe an hour and a half. So to that, it was just very bizarre to me. But the work ethic here, it always amazes me because to me, it's like, it's your business. You got to open the doors. You've got to, create this business. And so many people here, I mean, it's far more about getting out, and so many people meet their clients like out on the ski mountain, or out on the trails or riding bikes to them. I mean, so much more of it is based on the outdoors than it is really, on the marketing of, your farms and everything. It is different that way.
There's a lot of people listening right now that don't like you very much.
I know, right?
But you mean I can actually do business while skiing or biking or hiking, or Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember that little story I just told you, how my husband just called and told me how great it is on the mountain?
Yes,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, well, thanks for letting me know as I'm
That's
working.
right. That's right. I love it. I love it. So I'm looking at the numbers, right? And am I reading this right, that year over year you doubled your sales volume?
Yes.
And so obviously I know a little bit about what you were doing during that period of time. You had a bunch of stuff going on, but from a business perspective, you were building a team, right, that you hadn't done before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You were planning to take an entire month off, right, and travel, right?
Right.
And you doubled your sales volume. And I think the most impressive stat that I'm looking at is that at the end of the day, you increased your income by over 40%, while doing all of that stuff.
Yeah, I know, it is kind of crazy.
That's insane. I mean, the stats are crazy. So I know everybody that's listening they want me to ask this question, right? That's insane. How? Like, what do you attribute that kind of a change, the ability to take time off, the ability to build a team, and all at the same time drive numbers up like that?
Well, it's kind of interesting because you always hear about the stories of how people did this, and you're just like, oh, that's not very common or whatever. But I will tell you that I just had a total change in my life in the last year. And a lot of that was clarity in terms of having to just kind of clean out the closet, per se, and to realize like what was stopping me from getting through my glass ceilings, what was stopping me from not thinking I was as good as another top producer would be. And I mean, for me, it was a personal journey that I had to go through. And it all started when you had started coaching us once a month through Tom Ferry once you became a coach. And then you were telling, oh, you need to go to Fearless. You need to go to Tom Ferry's Fearless. It's going to be in Vegas. And I was like, oh, brother, he's so raw. He's so like, go. But I thought, I'll go because it'll make him happy, So
You did that to me?
I did that for you.
Thank you so much.
I know, because you're just such a good broker, and I just love you. So I went to Tom Ferry, and I was dreading it the absolute whole way there. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, I was on the plane to Vegas negotiating a $3 million deal that I had brought, that I was representing the buyer that wasn't even on the market yet. And that should have been my first guess, or first like aha moment that this is probably a good trip to go on. You're going to go learn some really good stuff. And so long story short is after that 2 or 3 days inside AC with 5,000 people listening to Tom Ferry, I just came back literally. I know this sounds odd, but I came back a totally changed person. I had broken some of those glass ceilings, and I was able to come back, and I implemented my team. I implemented outsourcing for a lot of my farming. I hired a social media person. I took advantage of all the office personnel that we have, like for the marketing and the luxury programs that we have. And I just thought, I'm putting all this in place, and it's going to have to work. It has to. And it has. I mean, it's proven itself. But it was, for me, it was a real internal release of old stuff that I needed to let go of. And if there's one thing I can say is that Tom Ferry, he speaks to you because he speaks to you from the inside out. And ultimately, that's what our clients want at the same time. They want somebody that they can trust. And trust comes from the being humble and knowing your knowledge of the market and all that. But it comes from being okay with you so that you can be okay with them.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to make sure I send this to Tom because he'll appreciate that a ton. So that's great. So
you can tell him I charge a lot per minute.
Right, exactly. There's going to be some free coaching involved in that one, I believe.
Yeah.
So, well, that's awesome. So it sounds like the biggest change. Well, first of all, wait a minute, timing. Now that was in August. So are you saying that you doubled your your market, your sales volume, you increased your income by 40%, and really, oh, by the way, you took the entire month of December off, and you're saying that between August and the end of the year is where all the real change happened?
Yeah, I think I did like 20 some deals from August to December. Just and it was truly like it was amazing. It when you change your mindset, things change. It's that energy, and this sounds, people are gonna go, oh, she's a little woo-woo, but it's the energy that you change all around you. It's your thoughts, it's what you say to yourself, it's your, your affirmations in the morning. It's the miracle morning that I think a lot of us know about. That is just that changed my life. As my husband said to you at dinner the other night, he's like, when she came back from that Tom Ferry thing, that miracle morning thing went into action and our life changed, and it was true.
That's fantastic. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that have no idea what you're talking about, Miracle Morning. What is the Miracle Morning?
So it was on one of Tom Ferry's lists. He was talking about it at that convention, and it's called The Miracle Morning. And I wrote down who it's by. It's Hal Elrod is who wrote it. And it basically, I had the worst time getting up in the morning. I would hit my snooze button like 5 times. So I had to set my alarm 30 minutes early before I had to get up. And it literally had a chapter in there on how to get over hitting your snooze button. But anyway, it teaches you to get up an hour early. And for that hour, you're reading, you're meditating, you're doing your affirmations, you're whatever to start that day, your exercise, and you go. And it literally just changed my world. It just put me into that realm of just, saying your affirmations and saying things that are positive, and knowing that you can do it. You can literally go and do it. And listening to, like, I get in the car and I just blast my music in the morning on my way to work, because it just jazzes me up for knowing what I have ahead of me,
That's awesome. So Steph, this big mindset change, right? I mean, like, can you put it into words? So like you go to this event, right? You come back, you're really getting into seeing yourself in a different light. Your actions, your behavior start to change. You start reading stuff like the Miracle Morning and doing, like, what kind of mindset does it take to be a distinctive agent?
It takes living and working at level 10. And that means that you are not apologizing for anything that you do every day to create more business, to talk to more people, to get outside of your box. That was what I had to do. I had to say, I'm going to live at level 10 and I'm going to work at level 10. And at level 10, I don't have to apologize to anybody. I don't have to make excuses for what I'm doing. I'm just going to be there. And it was like Tom gave me permission to do that. It was so
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And it was just like, boom. I mean, on my refrigerator, it says, are you living at level 10? And I think Tom Ferry said somewhere at one point, he said, I'm going to live at level 10. You all out there, you can live wherever you want. I don't care. It's not a bad or a good thing. It's a non-judgmental level wherever you are. But none of those levels matter to me, because I'm going to live at level 10.
Yeah.
Period.
That's awesome. So like, how, right? So you just say, you make this decision, which is awesome, right? We all saw this incredible change, right? So over the last 10 years, there's been we all have gotten to watch your life, your business, and then just watch this incredible triumph really in both, right? Level 10 mindset. How do you stay motivated to live at level 10? I mean, how do you get inspired at level 10? Because we all had the times where we wake up and you're like, I'm just not feeling it, or I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna live at level 7 today, or whatever. Like, how do you find the motivation and inspiration to do that every day?
I guess it's my why. We talk about what's your why, and my why is that I don't want to live in fear anymore.
Ooh, powerful.
I don't want to live in fear of not having money. I don't want to live in fear of not being able to go and see our daughter in Australia if we want to for a month like we did this year, and visit my husband's family. I don't want to live in fear. And so that's what gets me up every day. That's what tells me to live at level 10. That's my morning miracle, tells me to live at level 10 every day. My clarity, it's very clear to me that if I don't want to live in fear and I want to be fearless, then I need to live in level 10. And that's where I want to be. And that's what drives me.
That's fantastic. I love that. That's cool. I just got to give you a round of
Me
applause
too.
just on that, right? We're not even done yet. So you've got all this experience, right? You've been doing real estate a long time. You've done it in different markets. Here you are, top realtor in your marketplace. If you were to start selling today, so new career today, I'm going to be a real estate agent. What are 3 things that you would start doing right now, today, that maybe you didn't know before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I word that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the number one thing is to know that you're good enough. To know and to believe in yourself that you're good enough to do and be whatever you want. That would be my number 1. Number 2 would be I would get coaching. And if you can't get coaching, then go online to a coach, or the Tom Ferry. There's so much stuff, so much video, so much material that you can get for free and implement into your business. And then the third would be is that this is not your job. This is your business. You've got to treat it like your business. You've got to open your doors and you've got to work your business, whatever your hours are, doesn't matter. And what that means is you do your hour of power where you're contacting your clients 554. You do your marketing, you outsource as much as you can, you talk to as many people that you can. You are always doing things to cultivate more in your business. And those are free, basically. They're free. It's those 3 things is what I would tell somebody, is that you've got to have structure in your business. That's that structure. When you open those doors in the morning, you've got to have structure. And that means time blocking, right? Although I suck at time blocking, and my coach works with me on it all the time. Bless his heart, he deals with me. But it's hard for me to do, but I try every day to do it. And to stick to it. And it's your hour of power, 554, 5 people 5 people you don't know, and then 4 follow-ups. And it's just, and have a goal every year. I mean, I will be honest with you, last year was the first time that I paid attention to what my goal was. I actually knew what my business was doing. I actually knew what my return on investment was for my paying my social media person or outsourcing my farming. I knew all that. And knowing that top of mind every day, just like you want somebody to be top of mind, have you as top of mind as their realtor, you have to know what your business is doing. You have to be top of mind to your business.
That's fantastic. So that last one's a powerful statement, right? So the job versus your business. So give me some more examples of, if real estate was a job versus a career, or if it was your business versus a career. Give me some other ways that I should be treating it like my business.
Well, you would know when you're having your open houses. You would know when you're touching your clients, like how often they are. You would have I have a Google spreadsheet, right? And it has all of my listings in it, everything that's pending, everything that is on the books to be listed. All of my buyer's agent has all of her buyers in there, last time she touched them, when to touch them, where they're from. You're calculating all those things so that you can say, oh, I'm really heavy in listings over here. Well, I got to get some buyers, or vice versa. And knowing what that is so that your business is continually working for itself every day as well.
Right.
But it's showing up, suiting up, and performing.
Oh. So what you're describing is a CEO, not a salesperson, right?
Right.
Right. What
Absolutely.
you're describing, you're saying, hey, listen, a CEO knows their numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Knows who their client is, how to go out and get that client, right? Mm-hmm. How to service that client, tracks the numbers, because every CEO knows that what's focused on is what grows, right? Good or bad, right?
Right. I mean, and one of my affirmations is that I'm committed to knowing my ROI by tracking my numbers daily, right? So if I know that, then that's what I'm doing every day. I'm looking and I'm seeing, I'm like, okay, well, we put out this Facebook ad. What did it get us? What are we getting from it? And so at the end of the year, or even halfway through the year, you figure out what's working for you. But I will say one thing is that on your social media, if you are paying someone to do it, I highly recommend, your return on investment is not instant. And my little guru girl that does mine always tells me that if that's what you're looking for, that's not today. But I'm going to tell you, it is today now, because we've been doing that since August, and my return on it now is just, I'm reaping it. I reap it all the time.
Oh, so understanding the expectations going in,
Yeah.
And being consistent. I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at that part of our show where we're going to do rapid fire. All right. I know. I'm sorry. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you a question, or just maybe say a word, and I want the first thing that comes to your mind. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
Rapid fire. A book or blog to read?
You're a badass, Jen Sincero.
I love it. Podcast to listen to?
I'm just a Tom Ferry junkie, so I'm always listening to the Tom Ferry show.
Awesome. Video to watch?
Tom Ferry.
Tom Ferry. Place to travel?
Actually, video to watch. This is what I'll tell you. Scripts. Bill Pipes rocks it.
Bill Pipes.
He has no idea. He role plays with me every morning with What You Say Matters, but he does.
I love it. That is fantastic. All right, place to travel.
Well, I'd say Australia because I just got back.
Okay. And activity to do.
Well, whatever you do to work out, that's the activity I suggest you do.
All right, so get out and get healthy.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, well, that's great. That's the end, so you don't need to stress anymore about rapid fire. I know, right?
Okay.
So Steph, wrap this thing up for me. Tell the viewers, tell them what you really want to make sure that they take away from this interview.
I really want everyone to know that they are good enough and that they can live at level 10 and that you can be a top agent in your market no matter what. You just have to be a business owner and work that business, and you can do it. And you just believe in yourself, absolutely believe in yourself, and know that you can do it.
That's fantastic. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here and being on the show and allowing me to interview you. I know that there's a bunch of folks out there that are probably thinking, gosh, I want to talk more about her. I've got some questions I want to ask. If they wanted to reach out and connect with you and maybe even refer business or make the connection,
Absolutely.
How would they reach you?
Well, they can call me, is great, which my number is 208-720-8958. And text me. You can email me, which is stephanie.reed@coldwellbanker.com. And just any form that you want to. Get on my Facebook at Stephanie Reed Real Estate. Like it, follow us, message us, whatever you want.
That's wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much, Steph. You are a total rock star. Love you, love you, love you. You know that. Definitely a distinctive agent. And folks, those of you that are out there that are watching, listening, I would just say this, right? Listen to what people around you are doing that's working. Model your business and your life after the people that you respect. And make sure that you go out into the world, that you're prepared, that you're blessed, and you always are distinctive. Have a great day, and we'll see you next episode. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you. Bye.